just in from Tampa Bay. A bomb just went off in the crew, and this one's no small rumor. Word is spreading through the locker room. The internet's on fire, and the entire pirate nation is split in half. Something big is brewing, something that could change the entire future of our Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The ship's rocking, the seas are raging, and the captain's wheel might be up for grabs. And we're not talking about just any skipper. We're talking about a Super Bowl winning coach, one of the most respected leaders in the NFL, a name that could rewrite this franchise's destiny. Hold tight, Bucs Nation, because what just leaked out is heavy. And if you bleed red and pewter, if your heart jumps every time those cannons fire at Raymond James, hit that subscribe button, ring the bell, and stay locked in, because here we fire news straight from the mouth of the cannon. The mood couldn't be more tense right now. The Buccaneers have been riding a roller coaster. This flashes of hope, bursts of talent, but brutal losses that sting deep. The fan base knows this team's got way too much talent to be sitting where they are. Baker Mayfield's got grit. Mike Evans is still a living legend. Chris Godwin keeps grinding like a warrior. And the defense has vets who don't deserve to watch this season sing. But there's something eating away at the hull. Something you can't fix. Talent alone. Leadership. And that's where the name echoing all across Florida comes in. Yeah, Bucs Nation. The bombshell is real, inside and outside Tampa Bay. The movement is growing louder. Fans want Todd Bowles out and Super Bowl winning head coach Mike Tomlin in. That's right, the current Pittsburgh Steelers coach, one of the most respected men in the league, might just be the name Tampa's front office is dreaming about. Sources close to the team say if Bowles can't hold this thing together through the end of the season, the Bucs could move fast, and talks of bringing Tomlin to Tampa in 2026 are no longer fantasy. They're a real, living plan. The comparison's unavoidable. Todd Bowles is a defensive mind, calm, disciplined, steady, too often passive. Since taking over from Bruce Arians, this team's lost that killer instinct, that fire that defined the Brady. The numbers don't lie. In 2 full seasons, Bowles has more losses than wins, an offense that's lost its punch, and game day calls that make even the vets shake their head. This team wins when things go perfect, but when the pressure hits, it cracks. Just look at the games against the Falcons, the Colts, or that latest meltdown that lit the fuse on this whole debate. And while Bowles is trying to keep the wheel steady, Pirate Nation is roaring. Bowles needs to be fired right now, wrote Bucs fan Michael Januszewski on Twitter. And he's not the only one. Fan forums, live streams, podcasts, they're all blowing up. Some preach patience, most have had enough. It's the same story every year. Fans say, we start hot, then fall apart. Hard to argue, pattern keeps repeating. But here's the real question, lighting up every bar and group chat in Tampa. What if Mike Tomlin came here? What if the same man who led the Steelers to a Super Bowl in 2008, who hasn't had a losing season in 18 years, who turned chaos into consistency, took command of the Bucs? Just the thought of has the crew buzzing. Tomlin means respect. He means intensity. He means command. Players love him. Opponents fear him. He's the kind of coach who walks into a locker room and changes the entire culture overnight. And there's more. The precedent's there. The Bucs have pulled this kind of move before. In 2002, they traded with the Oakland Raiders for John Gruden. 2 first-round picks, 2 seconds, and $8 million in cash. People thought it was insane. A year later, Gruden hoisted the Lombardi at Raymond James. Now, 23 years later, the story might be repeating itself. Trading draft picks for a head coach sounds crazy, but it's the kind of power move that defines franchise. The Broncos did it for Sean Payton, and even if the jury's still out, no one denies he's changed their culture. Tampa could do the same. And let's be real, culture is exactly what this team's missing. The defense still battle, but the offense feels lost, like a ship without a compass. Tomlin, though, is that kind of leader who makes every man on the roster believe. He speaks with conviction, demands excellence, and never lets the standard drop. Even in Pittsburgh's toughest years, his teams compete. No losing record, ever. That's not just a stat. That's a mindset. That's a culture. Insiders say if Tomlin ever decides it's time for a fresh start, Tampa Bay makes perfect sense. Sunshine, young talent, and a fan base that lives and breathes football like it's a religion. And there's something poetic about it. Tomlin was the youngest coach to ever win a Super Bowl. And before him, that record belonged to John Gruden, who did it right here in Tampa. The symmetry is almost too perfect. Two coaches linked by history, crossing paths on the same pirate ship. Of course, it's not that simple. Tomlin's under contract through 2027, and any move would require draft compensation. Just look at Denver's deal. They gave up a first and a second for Peyton. Tampa would need to cough up something similar. Pricey? Yep. Bold? No doubt. But think about it. How many NFL teams have this much talent and are wasting it because of coaching? Social media's going nuts. Tomlin in Tampa would be a revolution, one insider wrote. Biggest move since Brady. And that's exactly the vibe. Post-Brady Tampa needs a new icon, a new face, someone who brings fire and credibility. Inside the locker room, tension thick. Players won't say much about Bowles' future, but you can feel it. Mayfield played it safe, saying, "We're all in this together," but the tone said otherwise. Mike Evans, the heartbeat of this team, simply said, "We need direction. We need clarity." Few words, heavy meaning. And now, national media is picking it up. ESPN, NFL Network. Everyone's asking if the Bowles experiment has run its course. Some say it's early. Others say the writing's on the wall. But one thing's clear. When a name like Mike Tomlin starts circling around, things never go back to normal. From a football standpoint, the impact would be huge. Tomlin's a defensive genius, and Tampa's got the piece. Levante David, Antoine Winfield Jr., Vita Vea. Under Tomlin, that unit could be elite again. Add a strong offensive coordinator, and this team could explode. Imagine Baker Mayfield under a coach who demands toughness and accountability. That could be his career revival. Meanwhile, Bowles is on the clock. 3 losses in 4 games have this team on edge. The NFC South still open, but the margin for error is gone. If things don't change now, it's just a matter of time before the ship tips. Next week's game is make or break, a division showdown under pressure, with skeptical eyes watching and a restless locker room. This is the kind of game that defines eras. Win, and Bowles buys time. Lose, and the whispers turn into cannon fire. Either way, the eyes of the league are already locked on the future. A future where Mike Tomlin might just take the helm. So drop your thoughts, pirate. Fire the cannon. If you believe Tomlin's the right man to steer this ship, or steady the ship if you still think Bowles can turn the tide. But no matter what happens, one thing never changes: the heart of this team. Tampa's never been about easy path. It's about battle. It's about comeback. It's about proving the world wrong. In 2002, nobody believed until the Bucs shut them all up and lifted the trophy. In 2020, with Brady, they did it again. And maybe now it's time for another rebirth, a new captain, a new era. Because the Buccaneers aren't just a team, they're a mindset. Grit, resilience, fire in the eyes, and steel in the heart. If Tomlin comes, he's joining a crew that knows how to fight. If Bowles goes down, he'll go down swinging. But what matters most is that the flame of the Pirate Nation never died. So tell me, Bucs fans, do you believe Mike Tomlin's the guy who can change everything? Is he worth giving up draft picks for? Or do you think Bowles still has one last miracle in him? Drop your take below. It might end up in the next show, because here in Tampa, the sound of the cannon never stops. The seas might be rough, but this ship sails on. And whether it's Bowles or Tomlin at the helm, we ride together, and we shout it loud for the whole league to hear. Fire the cannon.